going to show you how you can make this bag. Hi, welcome to Procrastinators Hive. I'm Jonita and I'll teach you how you can make this tiny bag using scrap fabrics and leftover fabric, of course. It's simple, so stick around till the end, and if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and comment. Let me know your thoughts about the tutorial. Many of us throw away the bits and pieces that are left behind after a sewing project. Let me show you how you can put it to use and reduce waste. Now this particular fabric over here is not totally scrap but leftover and good for a small project like the one I'm making today. I'll start by opening the stitches on the edges and iron all the pieces one by one. I'm cutting out all the uneven ends so it's easy to sew them together. Now this process took me a while. However, if you have a rotary cutter, then you can get it done in a jiffy. If you wish to throw this away, then do it by all means. However, I'll save it for a small project I have in mind and I'll share it with you soon. Recycling every bit of it seems difficult, not impossible though. So let's hang on to this while we take one step at a time. Here I have all my fabric scraps neatly trimmed and ready to use. Though for today I will not need all of it, so I'll choose the ones that work well for this project. This is another leftover fabric which I'll use to line my bag on the inside. And this canvas fabric holds all the tiny scraps together and will keep the bag stiff. This is an A4 size paper and I'll use this as a guide to cut the fabric. If you are new to my channel, then please consider subscribing to it. I teach different ways on how you can recycle fabric and plastic, along with other DIY projects, of course. Also, don't forget to turn on the bell button on your right to get notified on my latest video. And I thank you in anticipation. Also, thank you who are already connected to my channel. The size is perfect to hold my small water bottle and phone besides small essentials. Fold the fabric and leave about half an inch seam allowance on three sides. As for the top, I have kept 1 inch. Use the same measurements to cut the lining as well. I'll place all the bits on the canvas fabric to see how I can go about with it. Only once I'm happy with the placement, I'll sew them to form one big piece. Take your time with this. We don't want to unnecessarily cut a bigger piece to fit in. These kind of projects made out of fabric scraps, they always turn out well, since so many different prints come together to make one unique designer piece. I remember the time while growing up, my mom made quilt blankets using small unmounted fabric pieces. I still have a few of those blankets that we usually take it out when it gets cold. Do you have such handmade vintage pieces which takes you back in time that you want to treasure it for life? Alrighty, so I'll now sew them one by one. If required, iron as you put each piece together. I had no patience here, so I'll iron it towards the end. I'm marking where I need to cut out the extra so to level the other pieces. I'm folding the top side of this fabric half an inch inside and then iron it to keep it in place. Place it on the 1 inch seam allowance mark in such a way that the half inch folded line sits on the 1 inch marking. I hope it makes sense. And sew it here. It is good to pin it down so the top fabric doesn't slip away. Once you have stitched the top part, pin the other sides as well and sew them together. I'm further adding my brand label to it. For those who are new to my bag making site, I'm the founder and designer at Lael. You can check my collection by visiting my business page on Facebook and Instagram. I've added the links to it in the description below. So once you have put all the fabric scraps together, it's time to now design it further. This is totally optional, however the end result is quite fabulous. Nothing complicated at all, just simple embroidery using the embroidery thread in off-white and red. I'm giving simple back stitches here. Do the same on the other side of the bag as well. Now for the back, I didn't fold in the printed fabric like I did on the front. Because on the back I used one longish thin cotton as compared to the front side where multiple thick pieces are put together, which would otherwise make it bulky to fold it inside the bag. To make the side strip, measure the sides leaving the top. It's always good to keep an inch extra. Measure the length on the canvas fabric. The strip will be 3.5 inch broad. Then fold and mark the center. Mark 1/4 inch on either sides of the strip. Draw a line from the center to the end on the 1/4 inch mark. Fold and cut on the line. This leaves the base to be broad as compared to the sides. Please always pin the fabric to get a neat cut on both sides and to ensure so the fabric doesn't slip away. Now place the canvas strip on the cotton lining and cut it. I'll put this away for now and get the handles ready. For the bag handle, I took a strip measuring 26 inches long and 3 inches broad. Fold it into half and then again fold the sides in the center and iron it. It makes it easy to sew it together. Sew the edge all the way up to here. Once you have stitched this, fold it in the center and cut it to get two straps measuring 13 inches each. To shape the base of the bag, I used a circular lid of a jar. Just place along the sides and mark it. Shape the other sides and the lining as well. I also added an open pocket on the inside of the bag. Fold the top side of the pocket twice on the inside and sew it. Now make sure we are folded on the wrong side of the fabric. Now place the pocket on the right side of the lining and pin it down. Fold the sides on the inside and sew it in place. So in other words, it's the wrong side of the pocket faces the right side of the lining. Find the center point and mark to line the side strip. Align the center point of the strip to the front side of the bag and pin it down. If you find it difficult to directly sew over the sewing machine, then by all means hand stitch it first. That will help to keep it neat. Sew it on the 1/2 inch seam allowance. Sew the other side as well in the similar way. And also the lining. However, when stitching the lining part, keep about 3 to 4 inches open on one side to turn the bag out. Now we don't want this extra fabric sticking out, do we? So let's get rid of it and put the bag together. Are you loving this bag making process so far? Please leave a comment to let me know. I'm trying my best to make this tutorial as simple as possible for you to follow. Turn the right side out and I will secure the handles onto it. Find the center and mark it. Now from the center, mark 1¼ inch on either sides of the center point. I place the handles close to the markings and then sew them in place. Place the lining in such a way that the pocket side goes on the back of the bag. Pin it neatly and sew it all around at 1 inch. And with that, let's turn it out and see the outcome. Frankly speaking, I'm also very excited to turn this idea into reality. And being able to create something good and functional out of waste material, that's thoroughly satisfying. Do you see this little opening here? Let's close it by giving a clean stitch on the edges and put the lining inside the bag. I prefer sewing this part here. Just feels nice to keep everything intact, plus it looks clean, doesn't it? There's one more thing needed. I folded the sides together and stitched it in the center. This gives the bag some definition. We don't have to sew it all the way down, just 1 inch low and at half an inch. Sew it over the sewing machine. I had to hand stitch it as my machine couldn't run through that much thickness. Do the same on the other side as well. And with that, my little bag of joy is ready. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, then please smash that like button. Leave a comment and do share this video with those who might be interested. Don't forget to subscribe. Until then, you take care and be good. Hi. This is made using I made this using scrap fabric and leftover fabric, of course. And I got my kids in the background, so sorry about the noise.